to set that up. And if you have a question or you want to make a comment, you can raise your hand. And the way you do that is if you have your participant box open, go to the very bottom of the participant box and you should see some symbols down there, hand raise, yes, no. There's different things at the bottom that will allow you to raise your hand. And you can also open up your chat box. And if you don't have the participant or chat box open, go to the bottom of your screen, I believe, on most computers, and you can click on participants and chat, and it'll open up another window to allow you to see the information that I'm talking about. When you put it into chat, normally it's to everyone, but you can do private chats to specific people. You just have to find them on the list. And you can do searches in both the participants and the chat box, so it's easier to find people, especially when you have a lot online. Currently, I'm using a headphone with a microphone, and that reduces the feedback that you hear. If you use your computer microphone, sometimes you'll get a lot of feedback or static, so just be aware of that. And if you're not talking, please mute yourself. We mute everyone coming in so that we don't have a lot of interference and talking over and while we're trying to get everything set up. So, you will have to unmute yourself if you do need to get our attention or talk to us about anything. So before we get our program going, I wanted to find out if anyone has any questions about renaming. I see we have some renamed, some not. So please, if you haven't, if you've come in a little later, go ahead and rename yourself to whatever club office that you're going to go in. We will make sure we get everybody in the correct breakout rooms. And that way it helps us to get everybody in the session that they need. And we'll send you there when the time is correct and appropriate. And let me do one more housekeeping thing. Okay.
Monica, may I make one comment, please?
Yes.
For those of you who, if someone in your club talks about having problems following the confirmation, if there is no meeting ID or passcode, if you will have them hold down the control key and click on that long line of numbers and letters, that will be your link and it will let you in if that's a problem.
All right, thank you, Lillian. And we do have another training session tomorrow. It will start at 1:15. If you need additional officer training, if you're an officer in more than one club, that's an opportunity for you. I have also found several TLIs and club officer trainings in different districts, and I've asked Jessica to get that up on our district website to allow even more opportunities for your officers. I know you're here doing it. If you have another officer training and you can't get in tomorrow, that'll be some opportunities for you to get your training in, to get your credits for your clubs, and to actually strengthen your clubs. Stronger officers, trained officers make better clubs. That we've definitely noticed that. And we want you to have the information to help your clubs. Ron, I see that you are online. Do you have anything you want to share as we get going?
I just want to say good morning to everyone. Thanks for coming. And we are in the next side of our membership drive. So make sure that you're paying attention to your membership numbers. We have a number of clubs with low memberships. If you need our help, please let us know. If you want to do an open house and have some guest speakers, feel free to reach out to the trio so we can help you navigate and find someone to do open houses if you want to have a presenter. And then also keep in touch with your pathways adoption rates for your clubs. That's pretty important. That drives if your club's able to receive goals for your clubs as you go through and do your work. and do speeches. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Other than that, Monica, hey, thanks for letting me speak.
You're welcome. And I know if any of you clubs need club coaches and you don't have one, Ron is definitely the person to help you with that. So if you feel like your club needs maybe some assistance or you want to get stronger in areas, definitely reach out to us that way. We want to help you in any way that we can. And let me see if, Wanda, are you online?
No.
Okay, I haven't seen her. I was doing a search real quick. Okay. We will go ahead and one thing that I do want to remind everyone, we have speech contests going on right now at your club, and we will talk about this later on in the day. The contests are going on for humorous and international. Of course, at club level, you can do them all. That's totally your club's choice. And let me go ahead and if anyone needs help renaming again, put it in the chat or rename yourself according to the information that I have on the screen. So I see we still have a few that don't have their office out there. If you're not doing club officer training, you're just here for the speech. I think Robin is trying to tell us something in code, maybe. I'm not sure.
He needed his name changed and I changed it.
Okay.
I got it in the message.
Okay. He's just okay.
I hope that's what he needed.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I couldn't get it to work.
Okay. Yeah, phones are a little trickier. You have to really work with those. All right. And all right. Thank you guys for coming again. And the speech contest I was talking about, the clubs are ongoing right now. Your area directors will probably be talking to you about when their contest will be in February. And then in March, your division directors will be reaching out to you for those contests. And for the division contests, be looking at the district website. We will be posting all the district contest links and their information out there. So if you can't find it in your emails, if you're like me and you get 100 a day and you lose them sometimes, and that does happen to me as well, that's where information is going to be focalized. So as we get information and we communicate to you, we try to post it out there on the district website so that it's a one-stop shop. You can find everything you need in that website. And if you don't see something or you can't find it, definitely reach out to me. Let me know. I will get back to you. And that's one way we want to make sure that we consolidate our communication so that everybody gets the information in a timely manner and it's easy to find and you have all the information. So the division directors, their contests are being set up now, and we will post those with the links so that anyone in the district can sign on to any of them. And of course, we have our spring conference coming up, and I have a lot of volunteers already. I'm looking for a few more. We always need help, especially in this virtual world. It makes it a little more different and challenging. Not difficult, but it's just a different environment. And we need people to help us not only with the conference, but also the planning of it. We want to make sure we get you what you want to learn, what you want to hear about, and get the district to a stronger place. Our clubs are struggling a little bit with this virtual environment. It's new to a lot of people, and some clubs have had a more difficult time than others, and we're always here to help you, not only with the training, but the meetings as well. If you need help with your meetings, please feel free to reach out to me, to Ron, to Wanda, anyone, any of your club officers. You guys can talk amongst yourself and reach out to us as a whole or just one person, if you feel like your club is struggling. So feel free to do that. And I think I've about gotten all the information I had. Lillian, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, Monica, nothing I can think of at the moment.
All right. And I know Jessica's also looking for some assistance with the district website and social media. Our speaker tomorrow is going to talk to you about social media and the different options you have and give you some tips and tools. So VPPRs, if you're on today and you want to join the session tomorrow, go to the link on the district website, sign up for that, and you can just come in and she will be speaking almost right off the bat first. And then you don't have to stay for the club officer training unless you have another club officer training that you need to get in. But that will give you some other resources. And it's not just for VPPRs, anyone can attend. So feel free to sign up and come in and hear what we going to learn about social media, especially in this environment that we're in nowadays. And we seem to be overwhelmed at times with information. Getting it consolidated and in a format that's easier to understand definitely helps.
Monica?
Yes.
Yeah, hi, my name is Wes Solstrom. Yes, I'm a club coach. I don't have an office in the,
Okay.
in the club. But I was wondering if could a coach stand in for an officer who is not present for a club?
No, I think the officer has to be in the training. Are
Correct.
you wanting to take their place for the training, or I'm trying to understand?
Yeah, I was trying to help the club out with points, that sort of thing. But I wasn't clear as to whether or not a coach should participate could participate in that fashion, participate as a coach, but stand in for an officer that's not present.
Not that I'm aware of. Go to the training that you're talking about, and I will see if I can find any precedent on this. I might have to reach out to Toastmasters International, but I think the person has to attend
Okay, well,
to receive credit for the training.
that makes sense. I just threw that out there, but there is not a breakout session for coach, is there?
No, now Ron does coaches training, and I know I've seen it on the district calendar. That's another location for information for you guys. Definitely go out to the district calendar and check for links there. We have some training coming up for everyone, officers, different trainings coming up. I'm going to do another game night. That was really fun. I think everyone that attended really had some fun on that.
Could I don't mean to prolong this, but could a coach attend a session in order to work in conjunction with an officer that to help? For example, could I attend the VPE session in order to work in conjunction with the club VPE, since the coach does that anyway?
Yeah, you can attend any session you want.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
Now,
you.
as far as your club coaches training, though, Ron does that in a separate meeting. So,
Right. I have information on that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure you understand that's going to be a separate training. We're not putting that in the TLI today.
Okay.
Actually, Monica, club coach training is Monday. So anybody who wants to attend, we're going to talk about pathways. So anybody wants to attend, please attend.
And Ron, where will they find the information to join you? Is it on the district calendar?
I believe that Jessica sent it out on the district Facebook page and maybe on the district page. I'm not sure exactly. Jessica, can you confirm?
Yes, I'm working on that stuff now, but I did send it out on Facebook and Twitter. Got some information, and I'm updating the link now. But I believe it's on the calendar. Let me double check. But yeah, it'll be there when you go look.
Okay, and Lillian, do we have anyone that needs help getting renamed? Looks like everybody's done a really good job of that. So I think we're good there.
Yeah, I've been admitting, and Jessica's been renaming really quickly.
Okay. All right, and
Sign okay, Monica? Barbara Craft.
okay, I
Yes.
hear you. I hear you,
You're-
Barbara.
Your name's changed well.
Oh, thank you.
All right, does anyone else have any trouble getting renamed or need help with that? All right. All right. Let me stop. These two screens are going to drive me crazy. Okay. Now I can see the gallery. All right, everyone. Let me get that back over here, though. I'll be looking off in space. And if you guys are putting anything in chat, give us a minute, because if we're doing something in the background and we have things going on, one of us has to catch it. So I do think Bonnie is online. We can go ahead and get started a few minutes earlier. I have all of my information communicated to you that I wanted to get out. And Bonnie, are you ready for, and I will do, if you are, let me know.
Hello, Monica. Good morning, everyone. I will be ready in just another moment.
Okay, just let me know when you are, and I will go ahead and give them some more information that if I have any. You guys should have been receiving your Toastmasters magazine. Be sure to, it's online now, so don't look for it in the mail. Be sure to go out and take a look at that. They always give us some really good tips and articles and information, and try to keep us updated on everything that's going on. Currently, our spring conference will be virtually, just based on everything else that's gone on. It's easier to go ahead and get started planning that way and make sure we have everything in place for our conference. We are still evaluating a format for that. So sometimes with a conference, when you have a lot of people, Zoom is not the most ideal setting unless you have a huge team of people working in the background. And we are looking at other platforms that maybe are more user-friendly for conferences. And so be looking for that. And the Spring Conference Planning Committee will definitely be taking a look at different options and different items that we will be doing, different presentations. We're going to make this an interactive spring conference. So I want you to be able to engage and get something out of it. So definitely be looking for details on that. That will be coming up. And I know I'm excited about it. We've done a lot of virtual meetings and a lot of virtual trainings. And I know a lot of you, like me, even your work has been online lately. It's been virtually. And it does make it challenging at times to get everybody engaged and make it more interesting. But I definitely want, if you have any suggestions or ideas, shoot them to me. I'm looking at all options and trying to make it user-friendly and interactive and fun. I want it to be fun, because if we were in person, we would have fun. And I really want that to happen on virtually. All right. So let me, we're going to hear about pathways today. And Bonnie is a visiting program quality director. And I met her in our district training last week, and it was a pleasure to meet her. Bonnie is serving as program quality director for District 36. She is enthusiastic about helping everyone develop their communication and leadership skills through the Toastmasters program, especially through Pathways. Serving as a Pathways guide when Pathways launched at the end of October 2017, she continued to serve District 36 in 2018-2019 as the Pathways EPIC, which stands for Energized Pathways Igniter Chief. She completed her first path, Presentation Mastery, and has almost completed her second path, which is Visionary Communications. In April 2019, Bonnie was the first person to complete Pathways Mentor Program in District 36. She is well qualified to present our Advanced Pathways session. Help me welcome Bonnie Maydick.
Thank you, Monica. And I am delighted to be here today to help all of you in District 77 accomplish your goals with regards to training for your clubs and your club officers and club coaches. I'm so excited to hear you all as well. I do have a slide presentation, of course, and I did set this up for while we were waiting to, if you wanted to type in the chat where your club is located in the sense of what color. These are by divisions. So you can go ahead and do that, but I'm going to go ahead and proceed with my presentation. Today we're going to talk about two things. Distinguished Toastmaster Award and the Pathways Mentor Program. The Distinguished Toastmaster Award is the highest educational achievement that we can earn as a Toastmaster. Lillian Cook has several DTMs. I don't know if there are others in District 77 who also strongly believe in the Toastmasters program and feel it's important to go through the program through all the levels and achieve multiple DTMs. I'm close to my second one. Some of you may be very early in your Toastmasters journey, and thus DTM, oh, that's so far away in your thoughts. I can tell you, though, that it is possible. You need to have a plan. You need to have some people to help you along the way, but it is possible to do. Now, this diagram is from George Marshall in District 57, which is in California. It's often out on the web. You might have seen it. Another overview of the Distinguished Toastmaster path, not path, but journey, I'll say, is this one from Mark Snow, who is from District in Australia. I'm going to use this as my guide to share with you today the journey towards the Distinguished Toastmaster Award. First, we have some education requirements. That's true about all of our journey in Toastmasters. You need to complete one full path in the Toastmasters educational program. You do that at your own pace. You're going to complete a second path. It needs to be different from your first path. Again, it is self-paced. Can you work on two paths simultaneously? Yes. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily for someone for the first time through the Toastmasters educational program. Make sure you get into your first path along the way before you might pick up a second one. And then the other educational component to the Distinguished Toastmaster Award is the Distinguished Toastmasters Project. This is new in Pathways. The previous educational program did not have a specific DTM project. I'm going to say more about that in just a few moments. When you look at all of these three educational requirements, it means you're going to go through 29 projects in Pathways, and that will add up to about 32 speeches. Now, the reason for the plus symbols is because depending on which elective you choose, you might have one speech or two speeches. So that's why we can't say for sure the exact number, but you can plan on at least this number of speeches. Now, for the DTM project, After you finish your first path and you finish level 3 of your second path, and for those of you who are brand new, each path has 5 levels. They build in complexity from level 1 through level 5. After you finish level 3 of your second path, you can ask the TI Education Department to add the DTM project to your path in learning, your transcript of your individualized educational learning management, also called Basecamp. The DTM project is also known as the Capstone Project. And the difference between the DTM project and the High Performance Leadership, HPL, that was in the traditional, and it still is in the Pathways educational program, is that the DTM project needs to be a large project, definition up to you and your VPE, that benefits an organization. So that's the difference between the DTM project and the High Performance Leadership, or HPL. It has to benefit an organization. You're still to develop a team and design a plan. Now that team, the organization that is benefiting from your DTM project, and at least one of your peers, needs to complete a 360-degree evaluation of your leadership skills. Now, it's preferred, but it's not officially prohibited, that the DTM project is different from what you're doing in a role that's predefined by Toastmasters International. What does that mean? Well, Monica is serving and I are serving, we are both serving as program quality directors. As a result, that means we're automatically responsible for things. Club officer training. Monica talked about the conference a few moments ago. TI would prefer us that our DTM capstone projects are not our regular duties as PQDs. Area directors, club coaches, etc. Now, we can do something different than the regular as part of our capstone projects. So it's preferred, it's not officially prohibited, and TI does not pre-approve the project. If there's a question of whether your project would meet the criteria, it is the club VPE that needs to weigh in on that and discuss that with you. So that's the DTM project, the capstone project. Now let's go into another part of getting your Distinguished Toastmaster Award in Pathways. There is a club leadership requirement, and you need to serve for 12 months total. That can be one club for 12 months, one club for 2 different 6-month periods. If your club is one that elects officers twice a year because your club meets weekly, then you could serve 6 months and then another year later serve another 6 months, and that will count for your DTM. You could even be in 2 different clubs for 2 different 6-month periods. Now, on the application form for the DTM, you do need to put in the date and the year, the month and the year, that's the date, for when you participated in creating the club success plan. And you also need to include that month and year of when you attended training. I strongly recommend all of you to keep track of your own information. Write down today's date, This is when you are attending training for the winter TLI season. This can count towards your Distinguished Toastmaster Award, even if it is a far off thought in your mind right now. You also need to serve as a district officer if you are applying for your Distinguished Toastmaster Award. And again, that is a solid 12 months, continuous 6 months. Continuous 12 months. I haven't had my coffee completely yet, so I'm still waking up. But the main question that most people have is, what roles count towards this requirement? This is the list. Notice that these are also the officer roles that prohibit you from competing in a contest. So anytime you are someone who likes to compete in contests, if you're going to want to earn your Distinguished Toastmaster Award, you're going to have to take a year off from competing and serve in one of these roles if you want to earn your Distinguished Toastmaster Award. And again, it's a continuous 12-month, it's not 2 6-month terms. Now, one of the reasons why I like the overview that Mark Snow prepared is that he has categorized the different requirements. And the club extension requirement is something that I always had trouble remembering the difference between the previous educational program and then the changes that came in with the Pathways Distinguished Toastmaster Award. And what do we mean by club extension? Basically, it's to extend the number of clubs in a district or to extend the number of members within a club. That's why that word extension is part of this label of the requirements. When I think about it that way, it's easier for me to remember, and I've been a Toastmaster for more than 20 years. So you need to do one of 3 roles: club sponsor, Speechcraft coordinator, or youth leadership coordinator. And I'm going to mute myself for just a moment so I can clear out this frog in my throat. Okay, let's go talk about what does a club sponsor do. A club sponsor helps a club charter. Maybe they are the ones who knew the lead, we call that a lead, for where a new club can be formed. If they weren't the person who had the lead of where a new club could be formed, they can be assigned by the district to help that club develop and get to the point of chartering. And how many people do we need to charter a new club? 20. At present time, 17 people must be new to Toastmasters. Brand new to Toastmasters. There's no specific time for how long that service as a club sponsor will take. What I mean by that is, I attended a demonstration meeting in District 36 just the other week. Initially, we were told that there would be 15 people at the meeting, but we ended up with more than 25 people at the meeting. After the demonstration meeting, we ended up with, I think, 30 people who agreed to join that brand new club. So there is a minimum number of people that want to join a new club before that new club can charter. Depending on the district, the club sponsor might help with the paperwork. They might help with setting up the demo meeting, finding people to serve in those meeting roles for any demonstration meetings. So you need to talk to your club growth director or the club extension team in the district if you want to serve as a club sponsor. One of the other parts of this requirement is that you serve as the Speechcraft coordinator. What is Speechcraft? It's designed to teach others who've not been a member of a Toastmasters club the essence of public speaking, of communicating. So a club will often sponsor a Speechcraft, and they often do this in one of 3 different ways: a 4-week session, a 6-week session, or an 8-week session, depending on your time frame. And that's 1 to 2 hours for each of those sessions. This can be part of your club meeting, or it can be outside of the club meeting. And now when we were in person, that's what the different location is. But you definitely want people to think about joining your club after the end of the Speechcraft. This is a membership building opportunity for your club. Yes, it takes some effort. Yes, it takes extra people to put on the Speechcraft. And yet, it can be a membership building opportunity for your club. There's a club in District 36, the Agricultural Research Center Club. I'm not sure exactly how old they are, more than 50 years old. They have done a Speechcraft annually for at least the last 50 years. And on average, they will gain anywhere from 4 to 8 new members every year after their Speechcraft is done. Now, they already have the routine down, but it is possible, again, from people within District 77, for your club to start a Speechcraft tradition and therefore gain new members for your club. Now, as far as the Distinguished Toastmaster Award requirements are concerned, you receive credit when you are the coordinator, not just one of the speakers at each of these sessions. So you're the organizer. You're the person who helps the committee to say, we're going to have 4-week session, 8-week session. Who are our guest speakers during each of those sessions, because you have an educational component for each session. You have the participants be able to answer table topic questions and give speeches. So that is what is a Speechcraft coordinator requirement for the Distinguished Toastmaster. Now, they just announced within the last week or so the new digital Speechcraft. And I have the link here on the screen, and I have a picture of the initial screen. And we, again, Agricultural Research Center Club in District 36, the coordinator of that year's Speechcraft is looking at the digital to understand what is involved. How is that going to help both in our educational program and also in our online virtual world? The third one of the club extension requirements for the Distinguished Toastmaster Award is youth leadership. This is for the youth, youngsters, kids, whatever you want to call them, under the age of 18. And why is that age important? Because that is the minimum age that we need to be in order to join a Toastmasters club. Now, the minimum age for youth leadership is not specified. It is up to the coordinator as far as is it going to be a youth leadership for the ages of 12 to 15, 15 to 18. But you do need to have a thought about that, how young you want to go for your youth leadership program. This is designed by Toastmasters International to give the youth experience on speaking in public. They learn to lead meetings. They serve in the Toastmaster of the Day role. They can serve as a mini club officer in the sense of who's helping to guide the program for each of the sessions of the youth leadership program. But they're definitely getting their hands-on experience of running a meeting, giving speeches, answering table topics, and just as we do in a regular Toastmasters club. Again, it can be a little bit of a range from a 6-week to an 8-week session. The curriculum is designed for 8 weeks and a 1 to 2 hour session. It is sponsored by a Toastmasters club or another organization, a school, Boy Scout troop, Girl Scout troop, church, youth ministry. So that organization would contact someone, or someone who wants to work with youth can contact the organization and say, can we put this program on? And again, for the Distinguished Toastmaster Award requirements, you are the coordinator. You're not just one of the speakers. And there will be a specific person listed as the coordinator, and that is the person who can then use this for their Distinguished Toastmaster Award. And then the last set of requirements for the Distinguished Toastmaster Award is that you need to support clubs. We talked about club extension, we talked about club officer, we talked about district officer, and now we're going to talk about club support. And you need to do one of 2 roles, either a club mentor or a club coach. What do club mentors do? Well, they serve after a club is chartered for at least 6 months. I think it actually takes longer than that to really help a new club develop their own club culture. A club mentor can give ideas, but they shouldn't be telling the new club, we do it this way in my club. That's the only way to do it. No, we really want that new club to develop their own culture. Identify what is important to all of the members of that new club. They're going to explain processes and procedures. They're going to give resources, help the new club members and the new club officers learn where those resources are. People resources, website resources, document resources, and other websites such as a club website. Now we're going to go to the second one of the 2 that are part of the club support roles, and that is club coaches. And I've heard a few conversations about club coaches. We're having a training, I believe, Monday night, and I actually watched the video that, oh dear, I'm going to forget her name already, but she did a training about how club coaches can leverage pathways for the clubs that they are supporting. So a club coach serves at least is relevant for 2 Toastmaster years, and they serve until a club achieves distinguished status. They are appointed to clubs that have 12 or fewer members. And so when they are appointed, they are not members of that club. They can join the club after their official appointment is registered at Toastmasters International. And if your club, for some reason, doesn't follow the Distinguished Club program, you're not going to enable a coach to get their credit. So that's something that the district needs to be aware of. Now, I hate to even mention that there can be clubs that don't follow the DCP, because I think the DCP is a fantastic way to measure where you are each year by helping your members achieve their goals. The club coach is to work with the club officers and the club members to think about how can we achieve distinguished status. Doesn't mean president's distinguished right away, but at least distinguished status. And one of the ways that the club coach can help the club is by identifying those areas of improvement. And there's a module called the Moments of Truth, where you assess what happens in the club. When guests come, are they welcomed or are they ignored? And you can do that in a virtual meeting as well. I attended a club meeting in District 36. This was a few months ago. There was a guest. Nobody acknowledged the guest. Meeting started. Nobody explained the agenda. I started typing in the chat window to the guest, "Welcome, we're glad you're here. Let me explain what's going on." So by identifying the fact that no one was addressing the guest, that's one of the first areas of improvement for that club to do. The club coach can also re-energize, bring in new ideas, fresh ideas, assess, are there some personality conflicts within this club, and is that why this club has had a membership issue? So there's a variety of things that the club coach can do, and this is one of 2 club support roles that you need to do for the Distinguished Toastmaster Award. So that's an overview of the Distinguished Toastmaster. I'll confess I wasn't looking at the chat. I'm going to pause. And Monica, can you confirm I have how much time remaining?
Hold on just a moment. Let me get over to a different screen.
And I'm going to look at the chat and see if there's any questions with regards to...
You have about 30 minutes.
Okay, that's what
Now,
I thought.
We did have a question about mentor. Did Club Mentor not count? But you got to that after they asked the question. So I had put in there, yes, that does count. So I think they were just enthusiastic and wanted to get ahead of the curve.
Okay. And I did see a direct message to myself. Let me read that. Where the plan has to benefit an organization, and this is regarding the DTM capstone project, is that organization outside of a club, or could it be a club? If a club, could it be the Toastmasters Club? Yes, I would say is the short answer to that question. I confess I have not yet started my DTM capstone project, but I have talked with many other people who have. I would just say again, it's preferred that you do something that is outside of your regular role. So what I mean by that is if you're going to have your DTM capstone project be within the club and you are serving as a club officer, then, for instance, let's say you're the vice president education and the VPE is normally responsible for a mentoring program within the club or for a contest, having the club contest happen in the club. So it's preferred but not prohibited that if you're the VPE, that your capstone project is not something related to contests or mentors because you're already supposed to be doing that. Now, if your club has not held a contest in many years or has not had a mentoring system already set up, and this is new, you want to do something new for the club that's of benefit, both of those things are beneficial to the club, then I think it's fine to go ahead and do that. Maybe your club has never had a website, or maybe it has not had a website that has been up to date for more than a few years. Maybe you want to overhaul the website. Can that be your DTM capstone project? Yes, I think so. And if you're a club member, you can say to your club officers, hey, I'd really like to work on updating our club website. BPPR, can I help you with this? These are some of my ideas. So they just are encouraging you to think a little bit outside the comfort box because this is what your DTM should be. It's a reflection of all of the things that you have learned through your Toastmaster journey and stretch you a little bit more to cap off that experience. Now there's a few more messages I see. Monica?
Yeah, there's a question from John Williams. If a club coach fails to get his or her club to distinguished within 2 years, does he or she still get credit for being club coach?
And I regret to say no. So that is out of all three of those roles, clubs, well, I'll take that back in a moment. Club mentor and club sponsor. Let me back up. I'm trying to speak too quickly. Club mentor and club coach. Those are the two club support roles for the DTM. Club mentor, it's a fixed time length, at least 6 months that you're helping. But you could, and I'm not recommending this, you could not be a very good mentor. Club coach, that measure of success is that club that you are coaching getting to distinguished. So if they don't get distinguished by the end of that second Toastmaster year, you are not a successful club coach and therefore you're not going to get credit. So it is a little sad if you've spent that time with that club and you don't accomplish that. Now the other thing, and the reason why I say the second Toastmaster year, and I could talk with the club growth director or Monica as she was, I believe, club growth director last year. If you're appointed in May of 2021, that counts as your first Toastmaster year because that's in the Toastmaster year of 2020 to 2021. So in May 2021, you're appointed, you have 2 months for that Toastmaster year, and then 12 months of the following Toastmaster year. If you're appointed, if you were appointed in October 2020, then you had all of those months of the 2020 to 2021 Toastmaster year. So it depends on when you're appointed as far as how long you actually have to work with that club, but it's by the end of the second Toastmaster year. Last year as club growth director, I found out that if you're not successful, you can be reappointed for another 2 years for that club. The club has to agree to it, and you have to tell Toastmasters International. So it's a little bit, it's something to consider whether you want to go for club mentor, which means the district has to have new clubs for you to serve as a club mentor, versus a club coach. And we have a lot of clubs. I know in District 36, we have a lot of clubs that need club coaches. It can be very rewarding to serve as a club coach. And so it's something I strongly encourage you. That was a very long answer. I apologize for that. I do have another direct message. One question about how long after you do something like overhauling the club website can you still get DTM credit? I would say it's up until you finish all the other requirements in the sense of your year of district service and the other things like that. So you can start working on your DTM capstone project as soon as you reach level 3 of your second path. And that will just be held until you finish all of the other requirements. Now, the direct message to me has to regard Speechcraft, so to rethink how it's conducted globally instead of locally by each club. Think of how TLI is conducted. So this is indeed an interesting concept to think about, that Toastmasters International would advertise. These are the Speechcrafts within these regions, geographical regions. A digital map could show potential clubs of interest. So it's still to retain a recruitment aspect, but it's to take the pressure off clubs that need new members but don't have the resources to sponsor and host a Speechcraft. You're ahead of in your thinking than I think where TI is right now and where most districts are. I looked at the digital Speechcraft material, and they are now requiring you to say when your event is, how much you're going to charge, because you can charge for Speechcraft as a way to recompense the cost of the materials. And I think that this will start giving TI the information about how many Speechcrafts are happening by which clubs, in which districts, etc. Before this, they had no knowledge of how many Speechcrafts were being done within a specific geographical area. I'm going to move to the mentor in a few moments.
There's another, yeah, you see that there was probably already answered, but if I haven't, hold on, it went away.
Okay, and I have another direct message. Can more than one Toastmaster earn credit for youth leadership or Speechcraft? The answer is no. You have to be the coordinator of that particular Speechcraft or that particular youth leadership in order to get the credit. Another question about the presentation. What I can do is when I'm done, I can put the presentation file in the chat. I'll double check the size of it. If I can't do it because of size, then I'll let Monica have access to it and then she can share it with the district.
Okay, the one question was, I haven't completed my first path. Can I still work on youth leadership program?
Definitely. Definitely. If you are passionate about helping the youth develop their communication skills, you can definitely start working on that now.
And we are also recording the session, so we will post this to our district website, as well as on our district website. If you're having issues with what to work on, for different projects, we have some links and some information out there. And then if you want to find one within the district, maybe we have some suggestions for you. We have a form you can fill out that we can try to match you with something coming up, possibly to get you that capstone project. So like I said, definitely take a look at the website under Pathways, and there's a lot of information. There's some videos there. Bonnie's given excellent information today. Thank you so much. Do we have any other questions? I was just looking to try to.
And I did see the question about I believe the person's basically asking about contacting the Agricultural Research Center Club, because they're wanting the club name of the Speechcraft district and club name. So again, I can put that information in the chat.
Okay.
I'm standing up, and so I don't want to be typing because it'll be moving my laptop as I type in the chat right now. So when I finish, I'll sit down and then address some of these other questions.
All right. Do we have any additional questions?
I'd like to go ahead to the Pathways Mentor Program, and we have now,
Okay.
Monica, how much time left?
About 25 minutes.
Okay, still plenty of time. It's fine. I just like to keep a time check. All right, let's go on to the Pathways Mentor Program. One of the strongest additions in the educational program called Pathways is mentoring. Toastmasters International and the board of directors wanted to strengthen mentoring. We know, think about yourself. Are you still in Toastmasters because someone mentored you along the way? If you're new, are you a little bit uncertain because, in part, you don't have a mentor helping you? Us Toastmasters who have been in for a long time, we recognize, and this is really my benefit now that I get out of Toastmasters, is helping people develop their skills. So Toastmasters, board of directors, and the people who created the educational program put into every path this introduction to Toastmasters mentoring project. This is the last project listed in level 2. Everyone has to give this speech about being mentored. And I will tell people, well, if you've not had a mentor that you can identify in your life, think about how you would like to have been mentored. Many people mention a teacher, a parent, a pastor, even a friend's mom or dad, a coach. Who has mentored you in your life, and what did you gain out of it? So that's one aspect of mentoring in the educational program called Pathways. Now, there is a separate program. This is not a path. We have 11 paths in Pathways, but a separate program called the Pathways Mentoring Program. And it has 3 projects. The first one is to prepare to mentor, and then the second one is mentoring, and then advanced mentoring. And as the introduction said, I was the first person in District 36 about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, to complete the Pathways Mentoring Program. When you finish it, you will then have this badge as part of your record. And you could even have people buy the mentor pin that you could then wear. This can also apply for being a mentor within a club for a member. There's not an official Pathways Mentor Program pin yet that I'm aware of. So the Pathways Mentoring program projects. As I said, there's 3 of them. That prepare to mentor is for you to take a self-assessment. Are you ready to mentor? So you talk with your VPE, you take that assessment, and you can determine if you're ready to mentor. But there's no speech that you need to give as part of this project. The second project in the mentoring program is just called mentoring. This is where you work with a protege to complete a project of shorter duration. 3 months is what they suggest. There's various tools that you can use to help with your protege in the sense of helping them develop a success plan, tracking your communication. Are you meeting once a week? Are you meeting twice a month? So that you can keep records for during those 3 months of what did we talk about? What is the protege going to do? And then what do you need to do as the mentor? What resources do you need to find to make them, to provide to the protege? There's an assessment for the protege, and the protege actually even provides evaluation to the mentor in the sense of, did you help me? Or did you miss my point on when we met on this day and talked about this? Overall, what did the protege get out of the experience? You do have to give a speech. It's 5 to 7 minute speech, and you will be evaluated on that speech. But that evaluation is for the speech. It's not for you as a mentor. The last project in the mentoring program is called Advanced Mentoring. This is where you work with someone for 6 months. And again, you have that tracking log, you have the mentor evaluation. Again, you're going to help that protege work through a success plan. What does your protege want to do? There's the goal checks, etc. Again, you're going to give a 5 to 7 minute speech, and you are going to be evaluated on that speech. I'm just double checking. When can you start the Pathways Mentor program? You can start it after you complete level 2 of your first path. And again, now that you know the projects, 3 months, 6 months, you can see it might take some planning to figure out, okay, you can do other speeches in that, but you want to think through, who am I going to mentor? What are they going to do? What am I going to help them with? So then you can plan that time commitment and make sure that you can serve well as a mentor. When you are the evaluator of someone who is giving that introduction to Toastmaster mentoring project in level 2, you know how on our evaluation forms we'd say what the speaker did well, what they can improve upon, and then we're to encourage to give them a challenge. So when you are the evaluator of someone who gives that introduction to Toastmaster mentoring speech, consider giving the challenge for them to start the Pathway Mentor program. We know the value and importance of Pathway mentors, of mentors, period. And so challenge someone else to start thinking about the Pathways Mentor program. If you're not having pins, again, you might want to consider in your club to buy pins for recognition of mentors, club mentors, people who are helping your club members. I wear mine proudly. And it can also be for the people who complete the Pathways Mentor Program. This year, as Program Quality Director in District 36, I have an incentive for district members to complete the Pathways Mentor Program. And so far, we have had 5 this year. So I'm hoping that by the end of the year, we have many, many more, but we want to recognize them. That is the Pathways Mentor Program. I have some resources here, some websites that you can go to. I definitely recommend for those of you who are on Facebook that if you've got questions about Pathways, there is the Pathways Discussion Forum. There are other groups that will be very helpful. The official Toastmasters International Members Group, where a lot of questions are answered. The DTM description, I have a PDF of it. I can put that in the chat in a few minutes. But this website, the stories, Karen and Frank's story, have a fantastic website about Pathways. And then the Pathways app, DTM application itself, that will list all the specific items that you're going to need. And I strongly recommend you look at it now so that you can start keeping track of your records, so that if it does take a few years, and it will take a few years for most people, maybe 5, 6, who knows, it's self-paced, remember? But you want to keep your records. So I'll pause for some questions if there's any more. Monica, you can help.
We had a comment that January is National Mentoring Month. I did not know that, so I've learned something today.
Good. All right, thank you. I have to move the chat window to be able to see it.
Do we have any additional questions?
So this particular PowerPoint is my own creation, and again, I can put it in the chat. If it is not going to be shareable in the chat, I'll make sure that Monica can share a location with you after today's session. You might have these questions. Can I do the same path twice? The answer is no. Someone asked earlier, can more than one person be the coordinator of Speechcraft or youth leadership and get credit? No. Can you reuse your year of district service that you used in your previous education program? No. However, I do want to bring up that for those of you who were an area governor or an area director in the past, and you did not use that for an award in the previous education program, you can use that for your Pathways DTM. You need to have your records. So if you served as an area governor in 2012 to 13, and you did not use that already for one of your educational awards, you don't have to do district service year again. You can use that earlier one. So you don't remember when you served as an area director?
That's possible.
Some people. If you served recently, it will be in part of your Toastmasters profile when you log in to Toastmasters International. Click on Welcome Your Name at the top, and you can see your offices held, and it will include your district service. If you did it earlier than that, then you may need to start working on finding those records, because you will need to know when you served. And the other one is, can you serve twice as a club officer from October to April and have that count? If it's in 2 different clubs, that's fine. If it's 2 different officer roles in the same club, it's probably fine. But you can't count the same thing twice.
Okay. There's I'm not sure if this, okay, this is a question. When we get 12 paths, so
Mhm.
can get more than 5 DTMs?
Right, right. You can get more than 5 DTMs now. What the main thing is that within a single DTM, you can't repeat the same path. So you need to do 2 paths. First DTM, you do innovative planning and effective coaching. Second DTM, you could do innovative planning again, but you can't do innovative planning a second time within that same DTM. That's the point about a new path. Does that answer that question? I think it does.
James, did you have anything further? Are you good with that answer?
Was I clear?
Oh, he's good. Okay. Do we have any other questions about anything? If you are working your pathways now and really helping your club with that, this is a good opportunity to get that out to your club, make sure they understand it. Some of the more seasoned Toastmasters at times still have questions about pathways and also the DTM. So definitely, start having those conversations with your club members. Let's see, we've got a couple more questions. They're coming in rapid fire now.
Mhm.
What is the benefit to get multiple DTMs?
I personally think that it's allowing you to stretch more and learn more. Now, this is just now my personal opinion that I am expressing. Do I think people should go flaunt? Oh, I've got 5 DTMs. Well, if your purpose is only to show, well, look at me, how good I am, no. But if you can say, I've done multiple DTMs and I've learned something every time, let me help you, let me share with you my experiences, then that's fine. But so it's a little bit of a balancing act in the sense of people who brag and people who brag and then people who don't. But overall, the multiple DTMs allows you to learn more things and to stretch yourself. And that's the benefit of doing it.
There was another question. I did a high performance leadership project 3 years ago. Can I get credit towards the Pathways DTM?
I'm pausing for a moment only simply because if you did not have the high performance leadership count as towards a legacy or a traditional educational program, which specifically was the advanced leader, silver, then theoretically you could, but I would recommend you actually repeat and do a different high performance leadership project. Simply because the way Pathways is set up, we want to do that online component to it. We want to do that learning management system part of it. That's the online part. And so you're going to be exposed to different information. The new high performance leadership project includes a 360-degree evaluation. And that's why I think you should repeat it, because you're going to learn more. You can take the learning that you did with the high performance leadership project in the past, and it may take you less time to do the new one. So always think about the opportunity to learn and develop new skills. Back to you, Monica.
I know Lillian had made a comment. She went back and looked at her history and looks like the records in hers goes back to 2004. I have not been a Toastmaster that long, so mine I'm sure is covered, but looks like that's when TI maybe started tracking it electronically. So if it's before that time, that's where you will have to come up with some dates or contact TI to get the information possibly.
Right.
All
I couldn't
right.
remember if it was 2004 or 2003. It was around that ballpark. So it's just if you were before that date, then you would need to dig deeper for your records.
And definitely, if you need district leadership, we have the nominating committee looking for district leaders for next year going on now. That is on our district website. Feel free to go out there and take a look. You can get that district leadership in the upcoming year, and you will grow so much in your leadership skills by being a district officer. Every office that I've served in, I've always learned something and taken something away from it. And I think it makes you a well-rounded Toastmaster too. Giving speeches, phenomenal, great. You need that skill. You also need, in some form or fashion, some leadership skills and ways to deal, especially for online. It's a whole new world out there, and people are still trying to get their feet under them. And I think Toastmasters has kind of been ahead of the curve on some of that. So I want to thank Bonnie again for her presentation. If no one else has any additional questions, Bonnie, thank you so much. It was wonderful, great information. I know you're going to put something in the chat. If you don't know how to download files in chat, there is a when she puts it in there, you should be able to click on it and it will take you to the link where she's got it. If you have any problems or questions, which sometimes links can be a little tricky, you can let me know and we'll get it out there to you either via email or on the district website. I think the district website will be the better place to put it under pathways. So we will take a look at that. And thank you again, Bonnie. Uh-oh, did she fall? She disappeared. Okay, I'm just checking on you.
I'll stay online for a little while yet.
Okay. And if you have any questions for her, you can drop it in chat. You can do private or you can do it to everyone. It's totally up to you if you want to private message her. Jessica is going to put up a poll. It will be up for 3 minutes. Please take a look at this and give us your feedback. We definitely take your information that you provide us when we ask for polls or different information, and we utilize that. We look at it after the sessions and we go, okay, how can we improve? What issues did we find? And we use all the information that you provide, so feel free. It is anonymous. We don't know who gives us what information. We just see the overall information on the poll. So Jessica, if you can put that up.
Monica, I have already made the presenters and room monitors co-hosts, so they will not be able to vote in that poll.
That is correct. Yeah. If you do not see the poll, it's because you're a co-host and that takes that away from you. If you want to send any information to myself or Lillian, you can either email us, you can put it into us privately in chat. And then we're going to take a break. I just had a question. Yes, we're going to take a break. You know, your coffee or your morning drinks have probably kicked in and you need a bio break possibly, or just a break from Zoom for a minute. So I will go ahead and after we finish the poll, we will take a break and then we will be back. You should be seeing the screen now. We will be back at 10:25 and we will get everyone into their breakout rooms and we will be able to start the club officer training at that time. And Bonnie has just put into the chat the DTM requirements. And I'm getting a couple other messages. I'm trying to, hold on. Okay, does everyone see my screen? Oh, weird.
Yes.
Okay, does it show a break and return at 10:25?
Yes.
Okay, all right, everyone, go ahead and take your break and we will be back here at 10:25. We are still online, so if you have questions or comments. Yes, I'm sorry.
I have a question for if you serve club officers for multiple club officers, and the second one will be tomorrow afternoon, right?
Yes.
Do we repeat the whole thing, or for the first part, or can you just join for the second part for tomorrow?
You can, the first part is going to be another session. It's the social media tips and tools. So that's going to be our session tomorrow. Bonnie gave the pathways session today, and our session tomorrow will be the social media. And then after that will be club officer training, just like we're doing today. And then we will have an additional session after our club officer session on speech contests. So after you finish your officer training, we're going to have additional training on speech contests.
Okay, thank you.
And the poll looks like it is completed. Thank you very much for everyone filling that out. So go ahead and take your break, and we will be back on at 10:25.
meal kit delivery, I chose the vegetarian box, and the meals that I received were the salsa verde enchiladas,
work on planning things out a lot better so that I can not only get on track with 2021, but stay on track for the year and be able to accomplish more things that I really set myself out to do. Madam's Table Topics Master.
Fantastic. 1 minute, 28 seconds. Okay, it is now 10:25, Monica, so back to you.
All right, thank you. I put in the chat a link to where you can go to sign up for if you have a project, Pathways project you need help with, spring conference committees. We are definitely looking for people to that. And also if you have we have a couple of other links in there for you to get help with. So that's a link you can use. Be sure to save the chat today And I know Bonnie has put the file out there that she talked about, and she has also added some additional links to some of the topics and ideas that she was talking about during her presentation earlier. So thank you very much, Bonnie, for adding that information for our members. And at this time, we're going to open up the breakout rooms, and everyone that has their information in there, I think Jessica has got you assigned. So we will start sending you over to your different officer breakout rooms. And I believe there is an option. Jessica's finding some new little tools in Zoom today that will allow you to select once we get everything open. So,
Monica, I goofed.
Are you ready? Oh, sorry.
So please assign me to the VPE room,
okay.
or Jessica, whomever.
Yep, working on it. Let me see, Lillian.
And we had some people join recently in the last 30 to 45 minutes. So if you don't have yourself renamed, you might have to move over into the breakout room that you wish to go in. If you get in a breakout room and it's not the one you need to be in, you can come back out and we can put you in the room that you need to be in. So if there was a mistake or you're in the wrong one, definitely come back out and we will put you in the room that you need to be in.
Are you ready for me to open them? Because as soon as I open them, everybody's going to be moved into the rooms they're assigned to.
Yes, go ahead. Let's
Okay.
go ahead and we will see everyone back here after your club officer training. It looks like we got people moving.
That was pretty quick. I like this.
Yeah, it's moving pretty fast. There's still a few that have not moved. I don't know if they're not on or
Hey, Monica, it's
yeah.
Abby. I entered the wrong room. I entered the VPM. Should be
Okay.
the VPE.
I'm
All right,
fixing it.
Okay. Looks like Angela needs to go to treasurer. Let's see.
Thank you. I believe
Fixed it. And let's see, Sergeant at Arms, new view. Some of them, if they logged in like with someone else's account, they may need to be moved. That's probably why.
Okay, Stephanie, is there any certain training you need to go to? Okay.
Okay, this is I need to go into the secretary room, and I think if I join the breakout room, it removes me as host.
Possibly.
So I'm going to make you host just to make sure
Okay.
that's all taken care of.
Hi, excuse me. If I'm going to be teaching in the secretary's room, I need to be in there.
You should be. So hold on a minute. I'm looking. I don't, you should, all right, go down to the bottom and where it says more and the 3 dots, see if you have, I'm gonna go back in here, look too.
The breakout room icon for Kay. Yeah, that's what she needs.
Okay, it's not letting me push you in there for some reason. Hold on.
I was sent to the president one and I came back out. And I came back out.
Well, it's showing, let's see.
Maybe that's why.
And I was just the opposite.
Okay. I'm not, okay, move to, okay, Jessica, we've got a couple that got to the wrong room and now I can't get them into the room we need to be in. Okay, hold on. Let's see. So Michael, where do you need to go now? You should be able to join the secretary room. Or do you need the president? You need the president. Let me see if I can move you. Okay. And then. Oh. Did you get to Michael? I can't hear you, but did you get a invite to the president? It should come through to you.
Sorry, I'm sitting here talking. Down on the bottom, when you go to breakout rooms, there should be a breakout room option. It might be under the 3 dots that say more. Click on that and it should take you to your room. You should be
I
able to
see.
select your room. Same
I
for
see it.
Kay, because you are set up for secretary.
I have been assigned to breakout room 8. Is that where I need to go? Breakout room
No.
8?
No, secretary. It says you're in secretary.
Okay.
Here, I'll move you. That's fine.
Okay.
There you go. You can go. You should be able to go now, Kay. It should move you.
I think she went. Well, no, maybe not. To Michael went.
Nope, there we go.
There she goes. Okay.
Okay.
Stephanie, do you need assistance moving to a room? We have another Mills, Sheena Mills.
Sheena Miles.
Oh, yeah, Miles. Bonnie, did you want to go into a club officer training anywhere? Okay.
No, I'll just hang with you for a few moments.
Okay. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Sorry, I came back in late.
Okay. What officer do you need to go to?
Public relations.
That is so much easier, and I think this went so much smoother.
It did. And I think we're getting a little more used to the tools.
Yes, and I believe they should have been able to choose their rooms because I did set it up that way, but you know,
Let's get Bonnie to try it because she is not a co-host, right? Well, is she? Let me take co-host away from you.
Okay.
Not that I'm trying to be mean or anything. We're using you as a guinea pig.
I understand.
Well, I can't. Jessica has to take it away from me because she made herself host again.
How'd I do that? Maybe it doesn't take it away anymore. Because I did move you to host, I thought.
I'm not co-host either.
I saw the message that Jessica was host again.
Okay.
So somehow
it took co-host away from me when you did it. Maybe when you jumped out and then jumped back in. I don't know.
Maybe. Nice. Okay. There.
I'm still co-host though.
Okay. Withdraw co-host.
Yeah.
Okay. I withdrew it.
Now I'm not co-host anymore, so I will see if I can. Now I'm not assigned though, I don't think.
You might not be assigned, but do you have an option to choose one of the rooms? Because I thought I clicked on the box to allow.
Okay, and I think, do we have everybody out of the rooms now?
They should be because the rooms were closed.
Okay, so we've got everybody back out. We're going to go into our next session now. This is on conducting quality speech contests. We have our speech contests that are ongoing currently, and the District 77, we will be hosting the humorous and the international speech contest. The clubs, you can do as many as you want, but the only ones that will advance to the area and division will be the humorous and the international speech contests. And for the clubs, January was the month that the clubs were doing their speech contest. For the area contest, they will be done in February, and your area directors are probably talking to you club officers currently about the dates and the times, and if they're going to combine different areas together. And we definitely want to make sure everyone has the tools for that. We will be doing some additional training in a different session, just on the logistics of the speech contest online. The division contest will be in March. Those will be posted on the District 77 website with the links. So I encourage everyone, if you want to go to other districts to see their contest, you're more than welcome to do that. Always, the area and division directors are looking for people to help with speech contests. So if you're one of these people that likes to help and get out there and help your fellow Toastmaster, that's a good opportunity for you. Our spring conference will be in April. It will be April the 16th. And I do have several members that have volunteered to help with the committees and the different planning sessions. I am still looking for that one conference chair. That would be a great pathways item for you to use as your capstone or one of your HPL projects. So keep that in mind. If you're interested in that, you will learn a lot of information. You will gain some planning skills. You will gain a lot of leadership skills, and you have a team behind you. You will not be doing it by yourself. So don't think it's, well, if I do that, that's everything. No, it's not. You have a team that you work with. It's just you kind of orchestrating it and guiding it. So definitely keep that in mind. And the forms out there, you can sign up for your spring conference to help with any of the committees. If you want to get more skills with online tools, this is a good opportunity for you. We will be looking for teams to help with the online platform and the tools, kind of working behind the scenes. And we'd love to get you on board early so that you're part of the planning phase as well. So just keep that in mind. And I want to turn it over now. Lillian is going to talk to us about the rule book and some of the changes.
Thank you, Monica. Yes. For those of you who have not downloaded this year's rule book, please do so. Go to toastmasters.org. In the upper right corner, the search bar, type in speech contest rule book, then download it. Also, if you don't want to read through the entire book to see what has changed, because TI does put a little diamond over in the left-hand margin to indicate when something has changed. You may also download a document that talks about speech contest changes. Matter of fact, what is the title of it? It's Speech Contest Rulebook Explanation of Changes. A lot of the changes are just wordsmithing to make sure that the language is more understandable. I am going to highlight a couple of the changes that are more significant than wordsmithing. TI just noted that I guess some people were having problems in trying to use speeches from the legacy program to qualify for competing in contests this year or subsequent years. So now the rule book says only members who join Toastmasters prior to the rollout of pathways in their region can apply speeches from the Competent Communicator Manual to speech contest eligibility. You know, it said if you had 6 speeches completed in the Competent Communicator Manual, you were qualified or you could participate in the International Speech Contest. Well, Pathways rolled out to Region 8, of which District 77 is a member. I want to say it was 2 years ago, maybe 2018. So if you became a member 2018 or more recent, you cannot use those speeches from the Competent Communicator Manual to qualify. Is basically what the rule book is now saying. Okay, let me see what else is. There's a lot of things about eligibility where it said that, you know, if you were in more than one club, more than one area, so that has been clarified a little bit better. Another one of the changes I will highlight is that has been added to the speech contest rule book. Only members who, oops, I just read that one. Oh, it's just repeated. Only those who joined Toastmasters prior to the rollout can, oh, this is about judging. So let me read it. Only members who joined Toastmasters prior to the rollout of pathways in their region can apply speeches from the Competent Communicator Manual to eligibility for judging. because you also had the same requirements for judging international speech contests. You had to have completed at least 6 speeches in the communicator manual to judge. So if you joined Toastmasters prior to the rollout of pathways in your region, then you can do that. If what I'm talking about is Greek to some of you, then that means you were not part of the legacy program and you are okay. If you have completed level 2 of pathways, then you are qualified to participate in the international speech contest. You are qualified to judge in the international speech contest. For the humorous speech contest, there are no prerequisites. Anyone who is a member in good standing or a club in good standing can participate. And what that means is your dues is paid for the period, October to March. If your dues is paid for October to March and your club has at least 8 members, then you are a member in good, 8 paid members, then you are a member in good standing of a club in good standing. And so those are the prerequisites for participating in speech contests. Another change this year is contestants must not reference another contestant or a speech presented by another contestant from the platform at the same contest in which they are competing. That means if Monica competed just before me and Monica talked about the raccoons that ate her garden, and I say that because Monica kind of lives out in the country and I don't know if she has raccoons or not, but if she said something about the raccoons destroying her garden, then when I get up to speak, I cannot reference anything Monica said about raccoons eating stuff in her garden. Like if I said, as Monica said, you know, raccoons can be destructive. So if we don't do such and such a thing, that can be destructive to us. Then that's not allowed now that according to the speech contest rule book. And I've seen people do that at contests before. And I thought, oh, that's neat. That person is paying attention. That person is connecting with the audience. But apparently someone complained. So TI said, don't do that anymore. There are also a few tweaks about judging speech contests. Contest officials must not serve in more than one role for the same contest at the area, division, district, or higher. So if you are the chief judge, then you shouldn't be the main ballot counter also. If you are the chief judge, you should not be the contest master also. So just no dual roles at the same contest at the area level or above. At the club, Toastmasters International gives us some leeway because some of our clubs have 8 members, 12 members or less, and there may be only 5 members in attendance. So TI gives you some leeway on what you can do at the club level. Those are the main changes that I can think of. As I said, download the most recent club level, speech contest rule book. I was gonna do something right here. Where is it? There it is. And make sure that you follow that. If you want to know what the changes are, then also download that document that talks about it. I am going to share my screen for just a second because TI does a different rule book every year. This is the latest one. If you scroll down, you will see it said July 2020 to to June 30, 2021. So this is the latest speech contest rule book. Every club vice president education should download this contest rule book because it is the responsibility of the vice president education to plan the speech contest for the club. You do not have to do it yourself. If someone else in the club wants to do that for credit as a project, that's okay. But overall, it's the vice president education's responsibility. Let's see, I think that was all I needed to cover right there, Monica. So back to you.
All right, there was a question. They asked, can the speech, can it be just normal speeches and that are not a part of the Pathways program? Absolutely. Your speech contest, you don't have to tie it to any other part of Pathways. It could be something you could use in your Pathway project, but it's definitely doesn't have to be that. It can be just a normal speech.
The question was to be eligible, like she mentioned, to be in this, to do a speech or to be a judge. Do you have to have those speeches be a part of the, to be eligible? The six, you have to be 6 speeches.
For the speaker, for the contestant.
Well, Lillian mentioned that, I think she was talking about the judges when she spoke of this, when you had to, even the judges had to have qualifications, and there were 6 speeches. And to be a speaker for the international speech contest, you have to have qualifications.
Correct.
Do those speeches have to have been toward a pathway if they're newer members?
Okay, let me qualify. For the humorous speech contest, there are no prerequisites. For the international speech contest, a person, for the contestant and the judge, a person has to have completed at least 6 speeches in the Competent Communicator Manual. However, you have to have been a member of Toastmasters before Pathways was rolled out. Otherwise, the prerequisite is you have to have already completed 2 levels in any path. So if you are trying to use a Pathway speech to complete level 2, no, that is not allowed. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Now, there are different roles when we talk about speech contest. You're going to have your contest chair. They're going to be the one that's going to be overseeing it and getting different areas going. And then you have your chief judge. The chief judge is going to act with in concert with the other judges. They'll get them trained and get them eligible for the judging of the contest. You also need timers for your speech contest. And I would suggest at club level, 1 timer should be enough. We have multiples when we go into the area and division and district contest. And then you will need your vote counters at club level so that they can tally up what the judges are judging. And we are doing some speech contest training in February to help with the online environment. So if you want to join in that, we will have links out there and you will get an email, and we will work with you specifically on how to do the different roles online versus in person, which there is some changes. And we always look for judges at all levels. So definitely if that's something you want to try your hand in, we would love to have you as part of the judging team on any of the area, division, or district, and of course at club level. And I know Lillian is going to give you some tips now on the online platform because it is a little bit different, and understanding different things will help you with the contest.
Okay. We are in a virtual environment now. There may be one or two clubs that are still meeting in person, but most of us are meeting via Zoom. It is my recommendation that you have a good background when participating in a club contest. Some of us can use a virtual background. So if you are looking at the gallery view and you see the Brady Bunch things on the screen, then you may not see me. If you go to the speaker view, then you will be able to see me, but I'm going to change some of my backgrounds to show you what I do not recommend in a speech contest. I have lots of backgrounds. Okay. I do not recommend this background while you're participating in a speech contest. It is a bit busy. People may be wondering, where the heck is that? So let's see, I've got another busy background I want to use. Where it, or maybe my baby, where's different session. But what is this? I wouldn't recommend this particular background either. And if you can't see my background, that's okay. I understand. Some people, you know, maybe on your phone or whatever. But I am going to recommend you choose a nice background. This is one from Toastmasters International. Oh, I have several Zoom accounts, so it's not on this Zoom account. But choose a background that is going to complement you. If your computer is set up so that it looks up at the ceiling and the lights from your ceiling are above your head and they do not complement your face, look at moving your computer, maybe just for a short time, so that your background may be a solid wall. It may be a bookcase. It may be curtains. It may be something that is flattering to you. Be careful that the light is not behind you, because then they won't see your face very well. So just be cognizant of the setting of your computer. Maybe try and set it up at a proper distance. The way my computer is set up right now, I have about maybe 4 to 6 feet between me and the wall. So if I wanted to stand up and use body language, I have enough room that I can move within the screen of my computer to use body language. So look at something like that and making sure your computer is set up that way. If you're going to use your phone, look at investing in a tripod. They are not very expensive. That way, it holds your phone and you can arrange your phone so it's flattering to you. Like I said, you're not looking up from the bottom, because I've seen that with people who it looks like you're looking up their nose almost, and that is not flattering to a person who's competing. Another thing you can do is make sure that we can see you. I don't know if you can see, I just adjusted my screen and you can probably just see my head or the top of my head. So according to Zoom etiquette, or let's say, your head should be in the top third of your screen. So look at things like that and practice it before you get to the contest.
Question, some of the people do not have the green screen or something like that to be able to use the background. Can they just use your office, making sure it's clean?
Yes, you may. That's why I said you may have to move your computer if you don't have a good background. It's okay to use whatever you've got in your home, but move your computer so it's flattering to you. Like
And
I said,
the faster computers don't need a green screen. It'll run a background without a green screen at all. It just helps with some of the backgrounds.
correct. But for those of you who may have the older computers and you don't have the automatic built-in background, just look at your home and set up your computer, because you want to present yourself in the best light when you are presenting. You should dress as professional as necessary for your speech. Use the appropriate attire for your upper body. If you want to wear shorts or yoga pants or whatever on the bottom, that's fine, as long as you know you are dressed properly for your upper body. We don't care if you're barefoot, whatever. And if you notice, I keep adjusting my face. I forget. I like to hold my head up, but if you notice, when I hold my head up, you can see my
Lights.
oval light in my glasses. So I have to remember to hold my head down so my oval light is not reflected in my glasses. So just be aware of things like that. If you have two oval lights and you set them on either side of you so the light comes at you from both sides, then you won't have to worry about that as much, but I only have one.
My computer doesn't work on the green screen. I think it's probably because it's too old. It's, you know, I bought it year 2013 or something, but can something that I can download?
Yes, there are things you can download. You just have to go to Google and search, but there are apps or equipment you can download that will help you with green screens, yes. And for delivery, when you speak, if you are speaking from your computer and your computer has a camera, chances are in the top, in the middle, there's this little white light. Try to remember to look at the light, because that shows eye contact. Right now, I have my screen in the gallery view. And if I wanted to look at Monica, I'm looking at Monica now, but it doesn't look like I'm looking at the screen. You can see my eyes are averted. But if I look directly at the camera, it looks like I'm looking at you. Some cameras may be on the bottom right. I've seen them there. Wherever your camera is, make sure you know where it is and try to look at the camera. Okay? If you need to refer to any notes, try and place them close to the camera so that you aren't looking away. My notepad is laying on the table beside me, so if I were going to use notes, I would have to look down. However, if I place my notes, I'm covering the camera right now, but if I place them right next to the camera, then they are right here on the computer screen. I can't see half of my screen, but my notes are here. And I can glance over to the side and look at what I'm supposed to say and back at the camera. So see if you can place your notes as close to the camera as possible without obscuring the camera. Another thing you may want to do, if you want to remind yourselves of points, you don't want to write your speech out word for word. At least David said, do that in the beginning, practice it so you become familiar with it. But if you want to remind yourself of key points you want to make, guess what? They got these things called sticky notes. Make a note on the sticky notes and put sticky notes over your screen if you're on a laptop or a desktop. And you can just glance at your sticky notes, and that works. As we continue to host online meetings, we are learning more and more how to incorporate these innovative ideas. You know, if you want to show a PowerPoint, or if you want to show some kind of visual, make sure that the host makes you a co-host so you can share your screen. If you want to share an audio, make sure when you get ready to share the audio, you click on share computer sound, because the first time I shared a video, I did not do that. And everybody saw the video, but there was nothing. There was silence and just a picture. and I didn't pay attention that you click share your computer sound. So those are some of the things I recommend. So do we have any questions about presenting online?
There was one about, do you have to stand for your competition or can you sit for your speech?
That, go ahead, Monica. Okay, that is up to you. I can sit here and I can talk about, we were running up the trail of whatever, blah, blah, blah. And you can see my hands moving. However, if I stand up and I can say, we were running, that looks a little bit better because now I'm running. I am standing now and I can use gestures a little bit better. You can see more. I can move a little bit within my screen. I can do body language better. So it depends on you, how expressive you are.
There was another question about, should screen share be available to contestants in the speech contest?
I say yes. If you want to share, you've got something you want to share with the group, then yes.
Toastmaster meeting.
If you don't have anything you want to share visually, then it's not necessary.
But for international contests, if we're not using virtual, usually people don't have anything to share with them. People just show their face. So I don't know, the virtual will be different, or should we treat the virtual as the same as the regular competition?
We should treat virtual as the regular competition. You can bring props to the in-face competition. We use props. So screen share is just like using props. If you have a slide deck or you have a video or you have a picture or anything you want to show to the audience via Zoom, then the host should give you co-host responsibility so you can share your screen. With other platforms such as Google Meet, Facebook, Teams, Microsoft Teams, WebEx, there are various ways you can also be able to share your screen.
There was another question about Chief Judge, should we use breakout rooms for the counting? And we, you can use breakout rooms. You have to have an account set up for that, not like the free accounts and some of the more basic accounts. You won't get breakout rooms if that's how you choose to do your counting. At club level, that's probably one of the easier ways. There are other ways too. You can get everybody into another Zoom meeting altogether and do it that way. Breakout rooms definitely require a little bit more logistics in working, getting people in there and making sure they understand to come back. You know, you just have to work the logistics out for that. For the area, division, and district contest, we do have some software available that automatically does the calculations for the judging. And we will be doing some training on that in February. So if you're interested in using the software for the judging, and I know we've got some judges on here from last year's contest, and I've had them tell me it made the judging process a lot easier. You don't have to have go into the breakout rooms as much, and it does the calculations for you, and it actually gives you the results on screen, so you know within seconds after everybody does their judging who's first, who's second, who's third. So it definitely, there's some tools there that you can use. Got a question about, do we have a link to the ballots? The judging ballots, they're all online, and you definitely need to have those downloaded. I know we've been adding different links to our district website, and we will continue to add to those over the next couple of weeks. I've got some information going out there now about the contests, and I will take a look to see if we have ballots or not. If not, I'll get with Jessica to get some some information added there, but you can go to Toastmasters International and download any of the ballots that you need for the contest.
Yes, speech contest kits, you download the kit, it gives you the participation certificates, the ballot, it gives you everything. And I was out there looking the other day and I see Toastmasters International has put some online tools out there for speech contests. I did not have a chance to go in and look at them, but I will do so. And Monica and I will probably, I'm trying to figure out how you want to do this, Monica, because the clubs are supposed to be holding their contest this month. I have a session tomorrow and tomorrow night, Monday, Tuesday is booked. No later than Wednesday, I will go look at those tools and probably Monica will send an email to the club VPEs before the end of next week, letting you know those tools are there. And if you need help, reach out to either one of us and we will be able to help you with that.
Yeah, and definitely if you need it before that time, reach out to me and let me know, and I will work with you directly if it's before we get the information out to you. You can find it all on Toastmasters International, but if you need help with that, just please let us know. And Jessica put out the link to the contest in the chat area. So that's, and then I also have some a link that I just posted. This is some tips and tools for online meetings and online contests, and it's the same thing Lillian's covered. And if you need to go in and watch videos of it, feel free to. We also have some information on our district website. So take a look at that. And we're trying to post all the videos that we take and any sessions that we've had on the district website for you to refer back to. And I encourage you, if you're going to be speaking in Zoom, whether it's club level or contest level, you can get a free Zoom account. You don't have to sign up for anything. You just have to sign up for an account, and you can practice by yourself. You can set it up, practice, see how your screen looks, see how your background looks, see how your light is. You can, get in there and maybe invite somebody else and do just one-on-one and get feedback on your speech. So there's some options there for trying it and getting familiar with the Zoom tools. And the district, like we said earlier, is going to be hosting the Humorous and the International Speech Contest this year. And again, the clubs should be having their speeches now, and in area will be done in February, and the division will be done in March. And then of course the district conference, we will be having at the spring conference, we'll be having our speech contest for the district level. And just check back on the District 77 website for regular updates. We're trying to not put everything in emails. We had some complaints early on about getting too many emails. So we're trying to consolidate and make sure we have very focused information on emails and try to put everything out on that district website so that you have the information there. Okay.
Monica, I saw a couple of things in chat. One was about polls, the other was about breakout rooms. Since we don't have the time to do that here, and it may not be of interest to everyone, I just put my email in chat, which is D77lilcook, LILCOOKE @gmail.com. Send me an email and I will do a one-to-one with you to show you how to do breakout rooms, how to do polls.
Can I ask a quick question? When you do chat, you can say to everyone or select the person. Can you select only 2 people?
No, the chat's not set up for like a group chat. It's either you send it to me or you send it to everyone. It's not a,
all right.
It doesn't have that feature.
Okay.
Okay, does anybody else have any additional questions? I know we've had a lot of information shared today, a lot of great information and tips. And I want to thank Lillian for her effort on being my TLI Dean. She's done an excellent job getting our presenters in place. I want to thank all of our presenters for the different club officer training. You've done a great job, and we appreciate and really want to thank you for that. And Jessica and my team that works in the background that you guys don't see have been doing an awesome job with the technology. And we're trying to take the information you're giving us back on the polls and the feedback and really making the meetings more seamlessly easier, and that you get the information that you need in a timely manner. And all the officers that are on today, thank you very much for attending the club officer training. We want to make sure our clubs are strong and continue to grow. And I think this is a good place for you to help get that information and to really strengthen your clubs. And tomorrow, like we said, we have another session tomorrow. If you have if you serve in multiple roles as club officer or multiple clubs as club officer, that's an opportunity for you. So be sure, the link was in the chat. You can save that and go back and find it after this session and sign up for that. If you just want to come on and learn about the social media and the online tools, that'll be the first thing we do in the session. And then we'll go into additional club officer training at that time. And does anyone have anything else before we, okay, Lillian.
Okay, Monica mentioned helping with the district conference. Conference chair, you will have helpers. Just wanted to let you know, we have a position description for all the helpers. When I was Lieutenant Governor Education and Training, which is the prior title for Program Quality Director, I typed up a position description for everybody, because I believe if I ask someone to do something, I want to give them the details of what needs to be done. I'm not going to tell you how to do it unless you want me to, but we do have position descriptions to let you know what needs to be done. And for TLI Dean, my time will be up February 28th. If you want to help plan club officer training starting in June of 2021 for the 2021-2022 Toastmaster year, send me an email and I will give you the details on being TLI Dean. We don't know who the program quality director will be next year, but he or she will love for you to volunteer to help set up club officer training. And I will mentor anyone who wants to take on that role. And guess what? That can be one of those pathways projects for you. I didn't think about using it as my pathways project. I guess I could do that, couldn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, you could. All right. Does anybody have any other questions? If you're interested in those district roles, the district nominating committee is looking for people to fill these roles for next year. Area director, division director, club growth director, program quality director, district director. You know, if you're willing to serve in any of these roles, they are looking for you right now. So feel free to go to the District 77 website. There's a link there, and you can get the information you need to serve in those roles. And like I said earlier, you will benefit greatly from those leadership skills and other skills that you gain from doing any of those roles. And I don't have anything further today unless there are additional questions. I will stay on for a few minutes. So if you want to private chat me or have questions after everybody signs off, that's up to you. Thank you again for attending. And if you have any questions or concerns after the meeting, definitely reach out to me and we will get them addressed. I do have the officers that were trained in December into the website, so you should be able to see that on your club district performance area of how many officers for the clubs have been trained. after this weekend, I will get the sessions for today and tomorrow entered so that you get credit for those club officer trainings. And if there's a problem, please let me know. But that's where we're at now as far as club officer training. And then, of course, there are additional training sessions that will be on this Toastmaster 77 website. So take a look at that if you still need additional training. All right. I don't have anything else unless you guys do.
Thank you very much. It's very helpful.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. You guys are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Happy
Have a great
MLK
weekend, everyone.
weekend.
All right.
Job well done by all.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you much.
Take care.
Hey, Monica.
Yes.
Now, okay, I'm going to preface this by saying this may seem like old school. Okay. But we're talking about marketing, and we know, there are online tools that we can use with Facebook and all the other stuff, right? But I was wondering about junk mail. And I know it sounds big, but you can't, when we have those brochures and whatever, we could leave them out in places or, put them on bulletin boards in certain places. Well, those aren't really, you can't really kind of do that anymore because folks that, aren't just dropping in places like that. But is there some way that we could get a brochure or a flyer or something? I hate this. I, for lack of a better word, junk mailed or blast mail, or you know what I mean?
I know the club growth director is currently working in different marketing areas for publicizing Toastmasters around the district. And Toastmasters International has some flyers online that you can use on your club website, or you can use in your social media. So the online media tips that we're going to learn about tomorrow would be a good area to start with. I don't know how engaged your clubs are in social media, but for current conditions, the social media platforms seem to be more readily available to reach out to different people, and also just personal invitations too seem to be very effective. People are realizing, and I think at times more so than in person, that they need these skills to be able to present and to be able to speak to an audience. And like right now, the only person I'm seeing on this screen is Lillian. So in essence, I'm talking to myself. I have to know how to gauge. You can't depend on the audience reaction like you do in person. You have to think you're doing the best presentation in the whole world when you're online. And getting that message out to different people has been a challenge, but I think social media is a good avenue. And we're trying to get marketing out there around our district to help the clubs also. So be looking for that. And if we get contacts, we definitely shoot them to the clubs in the area that they're talking about. But with online, anybody is game now.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, I got you, Judy. I think you're talking about those flyers you were talking about, or those brochures. You can download those from Toastmasters International and print them. If you want a hard copy, I know Kim had some last year that she could email to you. I think she passed them on to Ron though. So Ron could probably not email you. Ron could probably snail mail you a couple, but you can also download them for free from TI and print them.
Okay. What I am talking about, I know I got that, but what I'm talking about is snail mailing junk mail. You know, those things you get in your mailbox like every Wednesday.
Oh yeah,
we have trying to add something. only because I know that I used to just throw them away or whatever. But I notice now that I'm home, I'll kind of look through them to see what's there. And I'm wondering if I'm looking through stuff to see what's there now, maybe other people are looking through stuff to see what's there, and getting something in somebody's hand it's just another avenue. I was just wondering if we have something like that, or if something like that can be set up. How do we do that? How do you do that?
We
Okay,
did
Judy.
talk about it in the district level. One thing you have to have the addresses, and you have to get those usually from different sources. Lillian, I don't know if I've never done a mail out promotional kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. Yes, Judy, we do have those available. We can get them to you. And the way you find people to snail mail those to, the best way I can think of is to, if you're not a member of your local library, just go get a library card. Then there is a USA reference, and you can go into this reference and you can target people in your area. Let's say you want to target, I'm just coming off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Let's say you want to target auto mechanics and invite them to your club. You can find all the auto mechanics listed in a 25-mile radius, a 40-mile radius, and you can get the address and all the information about auto mechanics, and you can snail mail them anything you want. So yes, we do have the snail mail materials available, and you going to that USA reference database is the best way to find non-Toastmasters to mail that to.
And I will also take this back to the trio to see if there's anything we can do to help you find resources or how to go about it. So let me get back with them, and then I'll get back to everyone, including
I know
you,
it
Judy.
sounds like going backwards, but sometimes low tech works.
Yep.
You know, and yeah, that's it. Sometimes low tech works, and you never know. Putting something in somebody's hand might not be a bad idea. A piece of paper in somebody's hand might not be a bad idea.
Mhm.
It's an idea. Thank you.
And we will take a look at it. Thank you very much. All
Okay,
right.
we've got a few more. I'm sorry, Judy, were you done?
Yeah, I was just saying goodbye.
Bye. Okay, we've got a few more people still on here. Do you have questions? Monica and I will make up stuff if we don't know the answer.
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
My question is to volunteer for the spring conference. My
Mhm.
question is, I've only been a Toastmaster for a couple of months. Am I too new?
No, ma'am, we put everybody to work.
Okay.
Feel free to sign up, and we will make sure that you're comfortable with whatever you sign up for, and we'll make sure you have the support and the training.
Okay, and what are the various levels of chair? What are the different
Is that already on the website, Monica, or will that be something that the contest chair will let people know? The conference chair.
We will be getting that out there after we have our planning session this next week.
Okay.
So we don't have all that out there. If you're interested, go ahead and sign up in the form that is on the District 77 website, and I will get you an email out this week. We will be having our first meeting on Wednesday night, and we'll go from there.
And will this count towards my DTM?
It depends on how you use it. If you do an HPL, if you want to do a chair, we would have to look at what you're trying to utilize.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
All right. Does anybody have anything else? Thank you, Jessica, for all your help.
You're welcome. Sorry, I just need to get the baby to bed.
I
to
saw.
nap.
I think I'm ready for a nap too.
All right, bye, Monica.
Bye. Bye, guys. We still have a few that are on. Do you guys just really like to hear me talk?
Oh, we have a break?
Oh no, we're through. We're through for the
Oh.
day. So
Oh,
you
okay.
can enjoy the rest of your day.
Well, y'all have a great day.
You too.